Where are you watching from? Tell us your city and country in the comments below. Welcome to Wild Echo Untold, where nature reveals its deepest secrets and the wildest stories come to life. Prepare to be transported to a stage of life and emotion, where the wild heart of Africa pulses with ancient wisdom amidst breathtaking landscapes and majestic creatures. We'll discover that the greatest strength of all lies in connection and hope. Imagine a place where the rising sun paints the boundless vastness of an ancient kingdom in gold, where the force of nature pulses in every swaying blade of grass and every distant roar. This is the wild heart of Africa, the immense and untamed. Savanna, birthplace of giants and stage 4 unforgettable tales. Here, each day is a new chapter in the eternal dance between predator and prey, between life and the inevitability of death. And at the pulsating core of this ecosystem reign the giants, the guardians of memory and of the land, the elephants. Creatures of astonishing intelligence and empathy, whose family bonds transcend any human understanding. But behind the overwhelming beauty and the imposing silhouettes against the horizon, a more intimate and deeply human story was about to unfold. A story of a wounded heart seeking more than just a new beginning, a soul in search of purpose, who would find healing in her true home on the... Into this scene of wild splendor, we meet Dr. Lucia Mendes, a brilliant Brazilian veterinarian, whose smile often concealed the weight of an unimaginable personal tragedy that struck her back home. Lucia didn't come to Africa merely for scientific research. She sought refuge in the immensity of the savannah, a sanctuary, a way to find meaning in a life that seemed to have lost its way. Her mission was fascinating: to unravel the complex mysteries of elephant communication and social behavior. And it was in the depths of the savannah, among the acacia trees and dry rivers, she encountered the matriarch Nyota, a wise and resilient leader, whose gaze carried not only the history of generations, but an emotional depth that captivated Lucia from their very first encounter. Nyota was not alone. She was the center of a united family, a pillar of strength and compassion. Within this herd there was little Jambo, an elephant calf who, weakened by illness, became Lucia's first great and moving challenge. Jambo's fragility revealed the vulnerability of wildlife and the responsibility Lucia now felt. What Lucia didn't know was that, beyond Jambo's frailty, a much darker and more dangerous shadow was beginning to stretch across the savannah. Subtle, yet alarming signs of illegal poaching began to emerge, an abandoned snare. Lucia's journey to care for Jambo was more than just a professional duty. It was a gateway to a connection that would transcend science and species barriers. Spending hours by the herd's side, treating the calf with a kindness and dedication that only an empathetic heart can offer, Lucia began to unravel the true symphony of the savannah. She witnessed the pain expressed in the elephants' eyes, the joy of their greetings, the complexity of their vocal and tactile communication, and the unwavering solidarity that held the herd together. And then it happened. Her eyes met Nyota's, the matriarch's, and in that gaze, Lucia felt an ancient wisdom that seemed to understand her own pain, a resilience that mirrored her search for healing. Little by little, the emotional barriers Lucia had built around her own heart began to dissolve, replaced by a sense of belonging and purpose. It was also in this setting of vulnerability and shared purpose that she met Kwame, a local park ranger. With the practical knowledge of the savannah running through his veins, a former poacher who had redeemed himself and now dedicated his life to protecting wildlife, Kwame initially viewed Lucia with distrust, an outsider with academic theories. But, witnessing her fight for Jambo's life with a passion he recognized, respect began to blossom between them. A partnership was born from a mutual passion for wildlife, in which, little by little, would pave the way for something deeper than either could have predicted. The escalating threat of poaching forced Lucia and Kwame to join forces in a way they never imagined. They were no longer just a scientist and a park ranger, but a true team. Lucia's scientific expertise, with her understanding of animal behavior and tracking technologies, combined perfectly with Kwame's deep knowledge of the terrain, poacher tactics, and the ancestral wisdom of the savannah. Together, They tracked, investigated, and planned, in coordination with other rangers in the local community. Every snare removed, every poacher's track identified, every small victory, no matter how minor, rekindled hope in the Savanna and in Lucius and Kwame's hearts. Asterisk little Jambo, now recovered and running free with his herd, was a living testament that unity, dedication, and care could indeed make a difference. He became a symbol of resilience and the promise of a future. And it was in this shared struggle, this greater purpose that united them to protect these gentle giants, that the attraction between Lucia and Kwame blossomed. A wild and authentic love, born from a passion for nature and the courage to fight for it. Lucia realized that the healing for her own pain was not in running from the world, but in embracing the life, the fight, and the love that the Savanna, in its relentless generosity, offered her. And so, the battle for the Savanna's soul reached its climax. It was not a battle fought with weapons alone, but with intelligence, strategy, the incredible cooperation of the elephants themselves, who, led by the astute Nyota, played a crucial role in protecting their herd. Threat was neutralized, and the Savanna, at last, breathed a sigh of relief. Lucia, now with a serene light in her eyes, stood beside Kwame, gazing at Nyota's herd as the sun set. There was no longer anguish on her face, only peace and a profound sense of belonging. She had found her purpose, her home, and a love as vast as the Savanna itself. The story of Lucia, the resilience of Jambo, and the wisdom of the Matriarch. Nyota teach us a powerful lesson. Nature has the power to heal the deepest wounds, to teach us about resilience, about the value of family and community, and about the interconnectedness of all life. It shows us that, by fighting for wildlife, we fight for something that transcends us and transforms us. The symphony of the Savanna resounds, not only in the calls of the elephants, but in if you are moved by the secret of the Matriarch and wish to witness more incredible wildlife stories, subscribe to our channel, Wild Echo Untold. Activate the bell icon so you don't miss our next documentaries and adventures. Leave a like and share this video with other nature lovers. Don't forget, where did you watch today? Share your city and country in the comments. Thank you for joining our journey.